folks, another night at the museum. It's not quite that old, but it's getting close. Okay, today, how about, looks like this evening to me. Okay, this evening, we're going to start working on getting this playfield painted. Now, I could just come in and look at this, and you can have some fun and try and get all that in like it should, but I'm gonna cheat a little bit and do one of my favorite tricks. And what I am going to do is I will take a piece of tracing paper, and then I will come in here and trace all this, what's left, and then I will put it on my nifty little piece of Bristol board here, and I will cut that design out as to what it needs to be, and then all we have to do is bring that over. Yes, I know it's this side, but this side is the same as this side. So all we will have to do is flip it over and line up everything, and then we can pencil in our design and be able to paint it. We could even use the stencil and put the stencil up on there. Instead of drawing it, we can take our paint and paint the line in up against the edge, which sounds like a pretty nifty idea, huh? God, stinking phone. Anyway, I'll set you up. We'll trace this out, and then we'll put it on Bristol board and cut it out and bring it over, and then we'll decide what we'll do. Okay, I'm gonna tape my tracing paper down so you don't lean on it and move it. I don't want to put this tape down real tight on the paint. I know it won't lift it, but just for precaution, I'm not going to press the tape down real hard. Okay, pick myself out a really good looking number 2 pencil here, and we'll sharpen it up a bit, just a little. I like a little bit of a round nose when I'm tracing. So I'm gonna trace everything. Ew, that sucked. Trace everything that I can here. Just so I have a really good reference. That's going to be a little bit jaggedy there because we have some paint missing. That's why they make these big rubber things for the end of your pencil. It's called In Case You Screw Up. Pencil keeps getting caught on the edge of the paint because there is a little bit of, you have your paint there, And let's see, I think I will, that's a post, ball guide rail there. I am going to, like I said, I'm going to trace as much of this as I can. Well, that's left. I think that'll go all the way into there. That way, see, we can cut this off straight because it's going to come over here, and I'll use this and a little bit here on the end. In fact, I'm gonna, you've been pretty good. I'm gonna remove my tape there. You haven't bumped me yet. Got that too wide, that'll screw me up when I'm cutting. Okay. See, that way when I flip it over, I'll have these lines here too to go by as far as lining everything up, so we can get our little bit of an artwork here that's missing. So now let's put it on Bristol board and cut it out. Okay, same thing as always. We will get our tracing paper lined up with our Bristol board. Same thing, taping it down so you don't move it around while I'm trying to cut it out. I don't want you bumping me, and I slide everything up off of here. Alright, let's see, how is... Yeah, I think that will work. Let's see, on our straight lines here, we can cheat. Now I move this stuff around a lot when I'm cutting them out, for the simple fact I get a better angle on it. Especially when you're cutting circles and arcs. can cut this out freehand. It's just, I have found that it's a little quicker if you use a little help. Now, like I said, this is what's missing. This is what we're going to be fixing. I always tape them down. That way you have a better chance of everything staying put and not sliding all over the place. Now we can take it over and see if we can line it up and see what it's going to look like. Now we'll take our, yeah, come here. Okay, we'll get our artwork and see that all lines up there. Now if we flip this over and line up everything, that side, move that up just a little bit. You can see I was off just a speck there. Okay. And there. And now all we have to do is tape it down, and like I said, we can either, let me see here, kind of like, I can get this lined up a little bit better. We can tape it down, and we can either take our paint and paint this in. See, there's a little bit of a black. You're going to be off a little because of the pencil, the width of the pencil. But as long as we can get it lined up, we can make it work. Okay, and then we'll tape it down, and I can either draw it in with a pencil and then paint it in, or I can just get it taped down and I can take my paint and follow the outline and put it in that way. Still, it's going to have to be a thin line. First I'll draw it in with a pencil, and then we can see what it looks like, because then if it looks screwed up, we can take it back off. Okay, what I did was I adjusted it and got it kind of centered where I like it. You can see just what's left of the V, a little bit of the black here and a little black on that tip. So I think if I paint along the outside here, we're going to end up with a really decent design, or well, match this side. I had to move everything over a little bit because when you're tracing, you know, it's not perfect, but you can get close enough to where if with this little piece that we're missing here, we can adjust and make it where it's going to match this side. We have a little bit of black in here and here that we'll have to put in, but we can do all that later. So let me get some paint and let's see what we can do about getting our black back in there. Okay, I got you moved off to the side a little bit because I need to be right here in the front to paint this. Let's see what kind of mess we can make with this. Oh, you can't see shit. Mm-hmm. If we get a little under it, that's alright too, because we are going to be painting it all blue. Let my paint dry, and now we can see what it's gonna look like. Let's see. Oh, hell. Yeah, that's not going to be too bad. I can thin the line down. You know, I have it pretty fat, as you can see. But I can, yeah, we'll see here. Might be able to thin that down just a little bit when I do the blue. When I get my blue in here, I think we can thin it down a little bit, or I can wipe it off and we can try again. Maybe next time I can just sketch it. I can just draw it in with a pencil and then take a little finer tip brush and work it in. But that is what we need to do. Not going to be too bad. This is raw wood here. Ew. I guess I didn't get it all dry. Didn't let it dry all the way. This is raw wood here, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to take that black back off. But let's see. I think we're going to let it fly. I'm not going to mess around with that too much. I think once we get the blue in, like I said, I can thin I can thin these lines down a little bit with my blue and kind of make it look a little better. So I guess now, oh, I can work on a little bit more black in here and get this all touched up so we can actually see what we need to do in blue. Let's get all the black in. I'll go ahead and work on the black, and I'll do all the, well, these all have to come out, so I don't have to worry about if I get paint on them. But I'm kind of wondering if I should knock them out before I paint and clear coat. I just don't want to get them full of clear coat, and then when you try and put in the inserts, it chips around it. That's why I think I'm just going to leave them in, and then when we're done and got it all clear coated and cleaned up, then I can pop them out and we can put new ones in, and it'll be nice and fresh. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep working on the black. I'll get all the black in, get your black on, and then we can worry about doing some blue. But we'll see what it looks like. I get the blue done. We got, you know, I have to put in my letters in our double, but it's just a tad darker than the original, but it'll, you know, it doesn't stick out too bad. And I just kind of used a little bit of a yellow here to see how close I could get. This is so filthy and full of black, you know, it's still dirty and you can't get all of it up out of it, so it's gonna be tough to do and make it match. So I'm gonna fill in the bare areas first, and then we'll take a look at it, and then we'll go from there whether I just repaint this whole area or not. The blue, I got the blue, nice little mixture of cobalt and Persian blue. The Persian blue is really dark, so I just used a little bit of it and mixed that up, and that's what I come up with on it. It's not real noticeable, you know, it blends in pretty good. The dark, a little bit darker, kind of tricks you a little bit and doesn't let you see the mismatch. If it's light, usually it really sticks out, or if it's way too dark, then it really sticks out. But I need to work a little bit on our yellow. I'm gonna get in some of this yellow, and with what I am using now, I think I've just kind of put on some golden yellow, and it, you know, it's probably close to what it used to be, you know. It's probably what it was supposed to be, is a golden yellow, but with all the dirt in it, that's why I said I'm gonna fill in all the bare spots with yellow, and then we'll look at it and decide whether we're just gonna go ahead and paint that whole area. I just hate painting in all them numbers. But, you know, whatever I gotta do, I'll do. So let me get busy. I'll get some yellow on that and see what it's gonna look like. Okay, have I told you in this video how much I hate yellow? Well, I'm telling you again, I hate yellow. That looks like something that comes out of the north end of a moose. I'm going to mix up some yeller. God, I have the golden yellow. That's what I put on there, and that's what we end up with. because there's so much dirt. Over here, this is more of a, this has a little bit of orange to it, and I have primary yellow, which, you know, you would, oh come on, God, you would think primary yellow would be yellow. If you look at that, that has orange to it. That's primary yellow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some Godin yellow and some primary and see if I can't get a little closer to that. If I can get closer to this, I'm going to paint as much of this as I can. Fun, fun, fun. But it's all part of it. So I'll go ahead and let's mix up a little bit here, and I'll see what I can come up with. I'll show you what I come up with, and maybe we can get something a little bit closer. We're not going to get close to the dirt, so it's going to have to be close to this so I can do probably this whole thing. I'm trying to stay away from my numbers as much as I can. If I screw some of them up, you know, I can touch them up as long as I can keep it in there. I'll leave this on because it, you know, it's already got, I already got a nice base on the wood, on the bare wood, so we can get that and it'll cover up pretty easy with a new color. Or excuse me, new shade. Primary is a color. When you mix, you get a shade. Okay. So let me see what I can do. So let me see if I can't come up with something a little bit better so we can make this look better. And have I told you how much I hate yellow? Okay, got it. Yeah, now it looks like I still need to do a little bit of number touch up in here. Yeah, looks a little obscure by some yellow, but anyway, yellow's done. Don't beat me up too bad on my letters. I can't, my writing's atrocious anyway, so why would you think that me painting letters and numbers would be any better? I got our cream all filled in, white, cream, whatever. And yes, that's an R. Got those letters put back in. What the hell was I going to say? Oh, on the cream. What I did was I took a vanilla. Was it vanilla? What the hell was it? No, Riviera tan. And then I dirtied it up a little bit with some warm brown. And then I aged it a little bit with some old yeller, some golden yellow. And that's what I come up with, which came out pretty darn close. The red, just pretty much two reds, a dark red, and then I just lightened it up with another one. There was only one spot of purple, so I wasn't really worried about it, and that was right there. And that's under the bumper skirt, or hidden by the bumper anyway, so I wasn't really too worried about that. I just wanted to get the bare wood covered so it wouldn't chip any more than what it is. You know, we got our lines in down here. It looks okay. Yellow's not too bad. I mean, it's gonna be, it'll look nice. Look a heck of a lot better than what it was. You could spend you know, 3 or 4 more days just going around and touching up a little bit of the blue over in here, and just some, you know, some purple and dots of red. I mean, you could just spend hours and hours touching all them little spots up and blending it all in. But, you know, this isn't a full restoration. It's just gonna be a decent looking, nice playing machine when we're done. See, I popped all the inserts out because to get my circles, or the black circles on these inserts, you know, you look at them and like this one here, you got half of the insert has the black ring, and then the other side there's nothing. So if you did that over here, just touching up the inserts that were left in there, when you pop them out and put new ones in, it's gonna be thin and thick. So I popped them all out and then just painted in some nice black circles to kind of, and that'll kind of blend in a little bit. That'll look better. Now up here on these kick-out holes, hopefully this won't be seen too much. These holes are so stinking beat up from use that it's so hard to get a decent looking ring around it. Man, you start painting and your brush wants to fall inside the hole or just fall, you know, that was a nightmare trying to get those in. Oh, I got a pile of crap sitting down in that socket. But now, I guess enough of me complaining. Now it's time to clear coat. I'll do a little bit of touch up on my numbers here. I got a couple numbers that are, now they don't look so bad over here. Come over here. And yeah, I need to touch up that 0. A little bit on the 3. I'll see what I can do. At least make it look a little crappier than what it is. I'm no artist. But it's just a matter of being happy with what you can do. So I'll touch up my numbers a little bit more, and then I'll start clear coating, and I'll bring you back after the first clear coat and let you see what it's going to look like. That's one coat of clear on it, and that's the way she's gonna, we'll get her a little smoother, but she's gonna come out really nice. Gonna look good. I just figured I'd kind of bring you back and show you what it's looking like so far with one coat. And now I'll take my 4/0 steel wool and knock it all down real good. And a lot of these little swirls and stuff like that are in there, you can get a lot of them out just with your steel wool and then putting another coat on it. And no, it's not cold. I know. That's lame. Oh, you're so funny. Okay. So we'll get her all steel wooled down and cleaned up again. And get another coat of clear on it, and that should do it. I think this one we may only have to put 2 coats on it. It doesn't have really bad, yeah, there's some spots that I may have to get after heavy to get some of it out. All this is doing is, when you're steel wooling, is you're knocking down, you know, some of the imperfections that you have left applying the clear. Plus, you have to have to rough it up again so your next coat will adhere properly. If you don't, it's too smooth and the next coat doesn't want to adhere to it, and you may have some lifting. I'm not saying that you would. I'm just saying that proper prep, and you don't have to worry about it not sticking. So that's why you have to steel wool in between coats. Like I said, and then if you have planking or whatever, when you in those little ball swirls and cracks, when you steel wool it, what you're doing is you're taking the top layer off and leaving it in the cracks and planking and whatever, and you can make it a lot smoother. And I normally put 2 on them, depending on how bad they are. I may go 3 if they're really dried out and crispy. You can, really get it filled in with a couple of coats. But yeah, that's all there is to it. So I'll finish this up and I'll get another coat on her, and then we'll get her steel wooled again, and then that'll be it, and we'll mirror glaze it and get it all nice and shiny and wax it up. And this one will be ready to be put back together. Alright, let me get this finished up. Now that we got our second coat of clear on, I started steel wooling it down, getting it ready so we can polish it out. I think it's gonna hit you. It's going to turn out good, if I do say so myself. It'll look good. So I'm going to go ahead and finish steel wooling this down, and then we'll start polishing it out and see what it's going to look like when it's done. Okay, that is mirror glazed, and then 2 coats of wax on that. And this is the wax I use. You can see it really came out nice. It revived it. I think it really come out nice. Nice and smooth. A lot of work, you know, getting them to look like this, but I think they're worth it. So that's all I've got for you in this in this episode. The next episode, we're gonna get the rest of this playfield put back together. We're gonna do the underside, and we'll put some inserts in it and put the top back together, and it'll all be ready to put down in the cabinet and get hooked up. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you, and I will see you on the next one. See ya.